Pretty good day overall here at TheStable.ca. We had seven go behind the gate today. Now, admittedly so, I thought Linnea was a little bit flat. Here's a filly coming off the virus. I couldn't really put my finger on it. We scoped her after. She scoped relatively clean. Her blood come back decent. But the track's kind of deep over there right now. And this filly, we never really asked her before. She went a mile in 2 minutes when it was a little bit colder and the track was tight. She wears a full suede shoe without any grab on the toe, and she wears a razor pad which covers the frog of her foot. And you know, I would suggest that probably one, she was maybe a tiny bit under the weather still. There was a little inflammation, not as much mucus, not very much at all, but a little bit of inflammation down low here at what they call the bifurcation, where the airway splits into the lungs. A little bit of filling down low, and I don't think she'd get a hold of the track very good. She felt awesome in the hole. I really thought when I moved her she was just going to scream past them, you know, like she's been training. I moved her over and she struggled, and two horses actually picked her off late in the mile. That's not like her. So for me, I think she's probably slipping a bit. We took those steel shoes off and the pads off and went right to an aluminum shoe up front on Linnea this afternoon when we get back to the burn. So we'll probably go with her again next week. And I suspect she'll bounce back perfectly. Warwi Ultra, a bit of the same. Felt like she was slipping a little bit. Also, got out of gear a little bit leaving the gate. See, she wears a really tight trotting hobble, this filly, and I thought it would be nice, you know, if we let her hobbles out. We've been trying to let them out and going miles. Even when I wound her up in 15, she felt great. But in the mile, if you look close, she was really what I would call as a driver had a clappy gait. She wasn't fluid. She hit the ground kind of hard. She was a little bit aggressive coming out of the gate, a little bit aggressive even on the front end, which leads me to believe that she was a little bit uncomfortable. So for me, I think maybe just another week and bring her back next week, and Warwi Ultra should be fine. Probably the type of filly, her knees are probably hurting her a little bit. Just normal stuff for babies this time of year. We can get that addressed if it needs be before she qualifies, but I doubt we'd have to. Overall, mile and 2-2 with a heavy wind down the lane. It was really tough to gauge today. I know it sounds like excuses, but when you have young horses, especially when they're on the front end, and that big wind hits them square on the head coming out of the turn, some of them don't really like it. You know, it's a big change. One, they're getting tired. You know, they're working hard, they're getting a little bit tired, and then this big gust of wind wallops them in the head. If you look, not a lot of horses were gaining ground on the end of it from the back all morning. The wind was pretty strong, and it really fluctuated from qualifier to qualifier. The first part of the morning it was strong, then the middle qualifiers it had dissipated a little bit, and then picked back up towards the end of the card. So it was really hard to gauge. I believe they even gave a second allowance because of the wind, but they really could have given two, at least at the start and the end of the card. So Warwi Ultra was good. I wouldn't say she was awesome today. Probably come in a little bit lower than expectations, but did her work. Regardless of all this stuff going on, she still did her work, and that's very important. So next week we'll try to take her back, race her from off the pace. If we have to do a little vet work on her before then, so be it. But I think what we'll do is probably take her back, race her from off the pace, see if we can see Warwi Ultra show back up again. As I wasn't really super enthusiastic about what I saw today. I saw a determined horse that was happy to do her work, so that was very important. But certainly not what I would consider a mile, very Warwi Ultra-esque, if you will. I got high hopes of this filly and a little deflated today, but we'll see. We'll let her bounce back next week. Too Far Gone. Wow. That was her and the filly that we did win one race today, one qualifier, the last qualifier with Stonebridge Loyal. Too Far Gone, though, I'm going to give top marks to. So, here's the filly we've been laughing and giggling about. She's been pissing on everybody, urinating on everybody. We put her on a little higher dose of Regamate, which is a female hormone, I guess. Keeps them from cycling. So I guess a suppressant of some sort. Perfectly legal to race on, no withdrawal time. This filly, I really didn't know what to think. I'm like, in the fourth qualifier, do I have enough time to run upstairs and change my suit? I didn't really know what to think going out the track. I got away in the 2-hole, and I said I'm not going to stretch her or ask her. For a number of reasons, I'm not going to ask her for anything more than she wants to do. I sat in the 2-hole. Had I moved her in the last turn, I think she wins easily trotting away. She came in last quarter. Now, earlier on when I looked, it was charted 28-4. I just looked on Stonebridge Canada. Either they changed it or whatnot to 29 flat. But in that wind, that is an incredible... 2 trotters trotted last quarter in 29 seconds today. Too Far Gone and the one that beat her. And Too Far Gone was extremely impressive. Now, let's be fair. When we looked at last week's lines, I would say most horses came in better. They did better than even I thought they'd do. Certainly a horse like See You in Tuscany or some of the other horses looked incredible. Today, with the wind and the deeper track and everything else, they were okay. But really, this filly was the only one that wowed me. And I know you're saying, wow, she only got a mile 2.3. She come 28-4, 29 seconds on the end of it, but did it the right way and was really... Her fastest strides were the last ones under the wire. So for me, Too Far Gone absolutely got top marks today. This filly went from, she's okay to, she looks really, really good. Keep in mind, this is a filly with an enormous frame on her, an enormous big filly with a lot of work to do. This is June, and she just looked like a 3-year-old out there. Very, very impressed with Too Far Gone today for a number of reasons. 1, she didn't piss on me. 2, all she wears is trotting boots and a head pole. This is a filly we had the trotting hobbles on virtually from December, maybe November, all the way till 2 weeks ago. So this is a filly now, all she has is a set of trotting boots and a head pole on, and a gate and strap on the left, and she can flat out fly. This is a nice filly. She might not win in 59 today, but give some credit where credit is due. It's very windy out today. The fractions obviously did not set up for her to go any more than 2.3. Quarter in 32 seconds, a half in 3 and a bit, 134. 134. Really, really impressive closing quarter for that filly. So, Too Far Gone. Very, very impressive today for sure. Buckingham. I thought she was okay. Then I looked at her line. She come her last quarter in 28-1. You have to remember, I looked in Buckingham's race. I think it was Buckingham. There was 2 6-figure yearlings in there. One for sure was Casey's 180. No, that was a colt, so it must have been later. No, it must have been a filly because it was today. So there was one of Casey's in with one of her horses, 180, 60, 80, 70, 90. Like, there's a lot of expensive horses in there today. So Buckingham may have looked lost in the shuffle, and I don't think she was on top of her game today. I don't think that was her best mile, but came last quarter in 28-1. Damn it, I believe 59. Don't quote me. I believe 59, and look good doing it. So Buckingham, I'm very, very happy with her. Dancing on My Own, slow qualifier, set up slow. She paced 2.3 last quarter and 29 last half in a minute. But here's a filly where we'll probably take a serious look at her and say, here's a filly with clean legs. She's big. She's tall. She's long. She maybe just isn't that comfortable right now. And she might be a filly that you see show up in September, not in June. So I'm going to talk to our clients, our partners. I'm a big owner in this filly. Talk to my partners on this filly and get a feel for them. But, you know, here's the thing. She's a Pennsylvania bred. We got her paid into a lot of stuff. But if she can't pace 53 in 6 weeks' time, what is she? Middle of the road, 2-year-old filly, struggling to keep up? Nah, I'm not going to break her spirits. For me, where are we going to find 10 seconds in 5 weeks? Probably not going to find 10 seconds in 5 weeks. So I'm leaning towards, the more I talk about it, the more I'm kind of convinced that qualifier was good, was adequate. She learned a lot from it. She learned to leave, sit, follow, finished up well, passed a horse down the lane, fought off a horse. Everything you need her to do, just not enough. So for me, I'm kind of leaning towards maybe turning her out for a little while and letting that long, lanky frame turn into a big, gigantic horse. So I think that might be what we're looking to do with her moving forward. Heartie. Heartie looked great today. 58-3 last quarter and 29 seconds. Last half 58. Blasted off the gate, controlled the pace, let one go, followed it to the wire, finished up really well. You really couldn't ask this filly to do any more than she did today. Very, very happy with her. I guess you could ask her to attack a little more, but this is another filly with a big, big frame. She's got a lot of muscle to put on those bones and that structure this year. So for me, Heartie looked very, very good. I figured she was ready to go 59 2 minutes. Instead, she paced 58 in the wind. So pretty hard to be disappointed with the trip that Heartie put in today. And then, last and absolutely not least, is little Stonebridge Loyal. I went out in the track. This affiliate we babied and babied and babied and babied because she just doesn't look super comfortable. Didn't look incredibly comfortable today, but tenacious, tough. Wow. Got away on the front. No, I didn't get away in the front. I left out first, dropped in behind Louis Philippois. I moved over to attack coming into the last turn. I was going to go by him anyway, and he made a break, and she held off 3 horses that were coming. She'd a Murphy blind in the inside, but she somehow had enough intelligence to know there was a horse there. She could hear him or what. She fought on and fought on and fought on and won the qualifier, which you might say, oh, it's a qualifier. But it's how they do it. You want to see how they do it. And for me, 29 flat into an incredible wind. That last qualifier was really windy. 29 flat into an incredible wind. And when you watch those qualifiers, just go back and look at the horses coming down the lane. Some of them are just paralyzed in that wind. They get tired and they just can't fight through it. And there wasn't a lot of horses coming from way off the pace, flying on the end of it. There was a few, not that many. And Stonebridge Loyal sat in the 2-hole. She knew exactly what she was there to do. The second I edged her to the outside, she began to attack and won the qualifier. Held off 3, if I'm not mistaken. One of them was a gorgeous filly of Doug McNair's, and Greg McNair's held her off to hold on to win the qualifier, which is important. We want winners. We want horses that want that drive, that want to do it, that want to get there. And this filly, she's been a fighter. I told you. You know, we're going to take care of her, and she's hopefully going to take care of us. What a sweet little filly. Did her work great, finished up great, and was sound after the qualifier. And I said to Johnny, you know, most of our horses obviously get the day off after they school or qualifier race. Not her. I need to see if she's hurting tomorrow. So we are going to be jogging her in the morning. Anyway, that's the 7 we got through today. Obviously, as many of you know, we have 11 tomorrow. So we have a big weekend. Tomorrow, the second the last schooler is over, last baby qualifier is over, I'm getting in the car and taking Ollie and Ava and Amy, and we're going to Tioga Downs. We're going to race Cruising in Style tomorrow night. I see Andrew put me on one of his other horses in the 8th race. So right after the 8th race, old Brady Bunch is getting right back in the car, right back in the bus, coming back to Ontario. We got to work at the barn on Saturday, and we have Lawmaker Saturday night. So big weekend coming up. I can't even keep up with the horses. There's some in Clinton. There's some at Grand River Friday night. There's some in Georgian, I think, Saturday night. We have Lawmaker in Mohawk, obviously. The North American Cup is on. Big night. A lot going on. So that is what is happening right now. We are going to, I'm going to try and do a little video for you, maybe on my way to Tioga, telling you about all the horses from tomorrow. But this is a video from today. I thought rather than just emailing people, it would be nice to get a feel for what I saw. You know, it's a real shitty feeling when you get that windy track, and when it gets windy like that, the track gets dried right out and it gets deep, and a lot of the horses struggle through it. So there was no See You in Tuscany show up today, but we had a lot of horses that did their work well. And did their work, just so we got the count correct. We've brought 28 horses in behind the starting gate in 2018. All 28 have qualified, 28 2-year-olds. We have 11 more tomorrow, which would make 39. We have another 5-6 waiting in the wings, which would make 45. So, pretty good, really, to think about it. We don't have any issues. Mr. Caper starting to sound up for your clients out there wondering about Mr. Caper. This is the horse that jumped on his foot and cracked his coffin bone in a good way. If you're going to crack it, that's where you crack it. He's been in the pool swimming down at Travis and Maddie Henry's for the past 2 weeks, getting sounded up now. Probably x-ray him this week and get him back on the track. Probably have him ready to go in another month, I would suspect. So he's right on track to get ready from what happened to him. We turned out Autumn Wings. We turned out Arvika to let them grow for 3 weeks. And you'd be surprised. I know it might sound a little stupid saying, oh, you're going to let them grow for 3 weeks. You'd be surprised what 3 weeks on green, fresh grass does to a growing horse. I think you'd be shocked. So for me, yeah, this is where the cream rises to the top. If we have some horses over the next 2 weeks that aren't going to make it, and we talked about Dancing on My Own who did make it, but
Are we doing her any favors trying to chase speed? Maybe not. So these are things I'll mull over in my head, and we'll talk to my partners about this. But this is the time of year when we say this one's ready to go, this one's not. This one's ready to go, this one's not. We did it a little bit getting into the qualifying and schooling season with some of the horses. We wanted to give Autumn Wings and Arvika some time off. We turned out Boldness. We turned out, well, Better Call Mike was the first one out. So as we go along, we want to do what's right for the horses. We want to make sure we give them the best shot to be the best horses they possibly can. And if that means they go out for a couple of months, then so be it. Long, long year, a long racing career ahead of them. And 28 for 28 is pretty good so far. Hopefully we can turn it into 39 for 39 tomorrow. So that's it for Thursday morning. A wrap up from Thursday morning for the qualifiers here. All the babies did their work well. A couple of them did it really, really well. A few little changes on the other ones. Nobody really that disappointing at all. So very, very happy overall with what went on today. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully you all come out to the qualifiers on Friday morning. Saturday night we got Lawmaker. I'll do a little video on my way down to Cruising in Style for you. A little wrap up of what went on tomorrow at the qualifiers. And then we'll do obviously it won't be an hour-and-a-half video, but we'll do a slightly more condensed video for the weekend. So those of you who live and die to see your Monday video at an hour and a half, might be a little shorter this week. More of a 1 coffee video rather than a 2 or a 3. Anyway, be back soon tomorrow. I'm going to get this posted tonight. Hopefully you're seeing this Friday morning or Thursday night if Curtis can get it out. And we'll have something for you tomorrow. All right, take care.